YouTube world, it's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee. I'm back with another AEW review dress things. This is my all elite address. I got my handy dandy notebook. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. You already know what it is. And so we're just gonna hop right into it because I gotta go to work at 3 o'clock and we ain't got time for all that foolishness. So we getting right to the business. AEW, I thought overall was a decent show. It wasn't, you know, I don't know how shows normally are like this. Like they're good. Like they have one crazy show like one week, and then like the next week, a lot of times they're just like they're little. It's just there. They have some good matches, and they just get some storylines going in there. But there'd be nothing like crazy ridiculous that happens and stuff like that. So that's how tonight felt. Like it was a good show. They had a couple of storylines in there, but it wasn't anything. Oh my god! It wasn't anything crazy or stuff like that. It was just like it was literally the fallout from their winter is coming thing from last week. So I'm gonna try to just touch on a couple of points. Um, so first point is their their strengths. So I always say, so this is how the AEW normally is. They have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. Their normal strengths normally carry the show, which is the tag team division. Their tag team division is really really good. They have a lot of tag teams right now that's there and that they're doing very well. Like how we start off, we have the Bucks with the Hybrid 2. They have their thing going on. Um, and to me their match was fine. It was okay. I like other tag matches besides this one. Um, I think from the story that they had going leading into this, I thought that it would be more story based, but it was just a Young Bucks match. It was a Young Bucks and it was a hybrid 2 match. It was a lot of high flying, it was like a lot of lucha libre type of like tag team wrestling. Is the literally the type of stuff that FTR hate. They were flying all over the place. They were hitting nice moves. They were hitting fancy moves, but they would do something. And the ref wouldn't do anything about it. Like Jack Evans was like in the ring for like a whole 2 minutes, even though you're not supposed to be in the ring, making sure that Nick Jackson didn't come in the ring when and Helico had like his heel hook lock on him, which was a nice move. They kept running in like each other. They didn't tag. They barely tagged in and stuff like that. It was crazy, but it was a fun match. Like they did a lot of fun stuff. They did a lot of neat stuff. It just wasn't, you know, it wasn't a story type of wrestling match. But not all wrestling matches have to be like that. Like even I'm not trying to compare it to WWE because I know everybody loves AEW more than WWE, but it was like the the their match kind of reminded me of like the 6 man tag match, the Intercontinental 6 man tag match from Friday. Like even that had a story. It was because they were all Intercontinental champions and they were all doing tribute to Pat Patterson. They were throwing some Pat Patterson stuff in there during the match, with the small package roll up, with the Dolph Ziggler doing his "Hey, let's be friends. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna beat you up" thing, and then get beat up by the babyface. Like at least, like even that had a story. This was just like a whole bunch of flips, whole bunch of crazy stuff. Like the only real spot that they did with it was the ankle was with the ankle injury, and that's and Matt. I think is Matt. He's been having leg issues like for months. So, but I mean, like I said though, their tag team division is strong. And the other little bit of thing that they did was with the acclaimed. They had Matt, I think, or Nick, I think it was Matt, had a power bomb position on I think Jack Evans, and he like power bombed them over the barricade the Acclaim. So I mean that was there. But besides that, the match was good. A lot of flippy flip flips, and if you like flippy flip flips, then hey, that's for you. But like I said though, their tag team division is crazy. They had those two, and then the Acclaim came in there and they had that thing with SUU. SUUs are now tag team jobbers, which I mean, hey, they got to be the first ever AEW tag team champions, so they can never complain. They whatever happens, they can always say when you lose, it's like, oh, you lost to the first ever AEW tag team champions. So hey, that's what it is. So that's who they're there for. Well, at least Kazarian is. Christopher Daniels. They might have to win more title because Christopher Daniels need to win his tag team title, but that's how that is. And then you have FTR and um, whoever they faced, Varsity Blondes with Brian Pillman and the other guy. That match I enjoyed way more than this personal match because it was actual like they didn't even. I don't even know if they had like a thing, but it even that was like actual wrestling. They were stiff with it. They was laying it in there. You could say that maybe FTR was mad. They had their first match and they was mad about losing the tag team titles, so they're a little rougher than they normally are. So yeah, they won in a very good match in a pretty good match and in a decent and with this Shatter Extreme, I think they called the Good Night Shatter or something like that, Good Night Express or something like that. And then they have their thing going on with Jurassic Express, I guess, because Jurassic Express seemed like they were mad at them for whatever reason. So they have that thing going on with Jurassic Express, and then they have what else do they got going on? Dark Order, Dark Order's in there. They're gonna have their thing with QT and Dustin, I'm guessing. So I think that's a thing. Dustin beat number 10, which is like the big one that has the number 10 thing on him. Uh, he won with a bulldog, which was really weird. Like the match was like a couple minutes. And 10 was killing it, and then out of nowhere, bulldog 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then Evil Uno tried to get him to be number 7, which is hilarious. And then Tony Schiavone was like, I don't think he wants to be number 7. That was hilarious. Inner Circle, any form of Inner Circle, Warlow and MJF, Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, uh, Santana Ortiz, um, Jake Hager, Warlow, Jericho, MJF, Jericho, Sam Guevara, Ortiz, any form of that'd be like uh, the craziest like Freebird rule of all time. Like you'd never know. That'd be tag team champions forever because you'd never ever know which form you would get. That'd be awesome if they ever did that. That'd be great. But you have them, uh, and they're I don't think they have a feud with anybody, but I mean they had their thing with Orange Cassidy earlier. So that'd be cool. And then you have best friends who they mentioned had a thing with Santana Ortiz, who's having a thing with Miro and Kip Sabian. So there's a lot of tag teams out here. That's always going to be number one. That forever and ever will be number one. Oh, and then you have Lucha Bros. They're going to have their thing with Butcher and Blade. Apparently, Pac's not there anymore. Right. Well, right now he probably went back to England to be there for a couple more weeks. So right now they got Archer and Eddie Kingston. They got their feud beef going on there. Good that Eddie Kingston and Butcher and Blade got a W because Butcher and Blade don't really get a lot of Ws. They got their W last week and they got the W next week. So good for them getting their Ws. But I think Lucha Bros at the end. It was really weird because I thought it was like a 6-man tag match, but I didn't see Pentagon unless I missed something. I didn't see Pentagon, and it was just Archer and Ray Phoenix versus those three. So the fact them winning, that's a good thing. And then Lance Archer beat up everybody, which is also a good thing because Lance Archer beating up everybody is great stuff. So that was fantastic. So their tag team division is really good. right behind the tag team division, of course, obviously the mid, I guess, would be technically the mid card division. Um, they have their thing with Darby Allen as oh, and then I forgot Team Taz also, I guess they could be technically a team. But but yeah, Darby Allen as him, the guy, him, uh TNT champion, that's what they call it. Him as TNT champion, that's really good stuff. I enjoy that. I love this video package. He was with like a psychiatrist, and they do the thing where you have like a thing like this. It was like, what do you see? And you're like, I, I see a rabbit. Very, rabbit, very, very good. I I see a turtle. Turtle? Yeah, turtle. Uh, I see uh a lot of blood and guts and glories and stuff like that. All right. Good. Good talking with you. I see you again next week. Yep. So that's the kind of stuff that he was doing. Of course, he was seeing all of Team Taz. She saw Ricky Starks. He was like, "What do you see, Ricky Starks?" He said, "A thorn in my side" or something like that. And the other one, big muscle guy, Will Hobbs. He was like, "What do you see?" He was like, "I see a snake." I was like, "Damn." And then it went to big muscle. Um, the other one, what's his name? Uh, Brian Cage. He was like Brian Cage, and then he said, somebody who's been a thorn in his side since he came to the business or whatever like that. And he cut a pretty decent promo, and then he said he also sees number one contender. He said every time he's beaten him, but it's always been help from everybody. But this time, let's see if he can do it by himself. So I guess maybe Code. Well, Darby is probably going to be. He's definitely beating. He's beating Brian Cage. That's happening. He's not losing that title anytime soon. But that's cool stuff. And then the last picture was like, "What do you see?" And it's a picture of Sting. He just smiles and laughs and just, oh my god, you just guys just did that. He's like, cool. Speaking of Sting, he showed up. Uh, Cody was about to do an interview with was about to be interviewed, him and Arn, by Tony Schiavone, and he just pretty much mentioned Sting and stuff like that. And then before he even come out, Cody comes, lights go off, Sting comes in there. Cody's just smiling. He's like, oh my god, it's so cool. Arn was like, yeah, I know, I kind of did some bad things, so you know what, this isn't my business. Here you go. He gives the mic to Tony Schiavone. And Tony Schiavone was like, "Hey, it's cool to see you, man. Yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna let you did." And this thing was like, "Hey, buddy, come on, it's Tony Schiavone, bring it in, bring it in." And then they hugged and stuff like that. He's like, "Man, it was you made my career, man." He's like, "It's the thing type thing, man. Oh man, you gotta do it for everybody, man. You gotta do it for them." Cody was in his style. He was just standing there marking out, just smiling and stuff like that. And Tony Schiavone, it's he did that. He did that thing. Everybody went crazy. It was like, yeah, I love that guy. I love that man. Yeah, Sting. Ooh, love you. Ooh, ooh. So he was he's pretty he's kind of like low key doing what Matt Hardy's been doing. He's been saying like how he's the best, and if it wasn't for him, anybody else wouldn't be here. He's like he just thinks just like that. And then Cody was like, yeah, was like, yeah, man, it's good to have you back here. And then Sting was like, I ain't come here for you. I shoot fly. You fly, don't bother me. He was like, I want him. And then of course in the stands is Darby Allen. And he's all mysterious and stuff like that. And pretty much was just saying, hey, kid, not yet. So I don't know if Cody Rhodes is either flattered or just feels disrespected. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. I'm happy for Sting. I'm glad he probably finally gets to do what he wants to do. His WWE run was not really the best, but hey, it is what it is. Um, then Team Taz was there. I couldn't really understand the promo. I didn't wasn't paying attention to the promo because I was just looking at Ricky Starks and he just looked a lot like The Rock. And Taz's son looked really, really scared to be there. He's like, I don't know if I belong here. He tried to look tough, like, but he was just really looking scared. He was way too close to Ricky Starks. I was like, what are you doing? And I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, literally, when I was looking at the TV, I was like, is that The Rock? I was like, oh no, that's Ricky Starks. I was like, oh shit, Ricky Starks then came in and looked like The Rock. So that's good stuff. Um, Hangman interview that was great. That was hilarious. Everybody, all the interviews tonight was really good. MJF, his little promo thing that he did, that was good stuff. The Hangman promo, the interview, that was pretty much saying, "Hey, next week you got a match next week against the Hardy Party, which is Private Party and Matt Hardy. He's like, you got any partners and stuff like that." And then Alex Silver and Reynolds, another tag team that they have. Just pop up like, hey, woo, we got you. And they're like Cowboys. And like, hey man was like, no, nope, 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 nope. He's like, hey, come on, man. He's like, who else you got? Huh? Who else you got? He was like, all right, whatever. He was like, hey, one time, it's no join in the circle. You don't try to. They're like, no, no, we got it. We was like, woo. They was dancing, having a crazy time, and Heyman, it's just like, oh my god, what did I get myself? He was trying not to laugh. He's so great. So that would be interesting. They had a Shaq and Brandy little interview. Um, Pretty much was Shaq was like, "Hey, I like my girl Jade. You know, we go back way back. Hey, I didn't like what she did to your arm. You know, I didn't appreciate that." And Brandy was pretty much saying the same thing. They try to get a cohesive thing and say, "Hey, I can't wait for your two match me and Cody, just jokes. I respect I respect wrestling. I respect what you guys do. I ain't about that life. And and then also Tony Schiavone gave Brandy like chief branding officer, and he gave Shaq like four-time NBA champion, like 30 something time All Star, Papa John's host. He did like the long elaborate like Kenny Omega thing, and he was like, and then Brandon was like, "Yeah, cool, you get all that," and I just get, no, whatever, cool. And then that was funny. And then at the end, Shaq was like, "Oh, by the way, hey, that injured arm you got, hey, just watch out for Jade, spank that ass." And she was like, "Now you're joking, right?" He was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, see, disrespected again, me, disrespected again. Sick of this." She grabs water and then it says, "That's how." That was good stuff. Um, Not good stuff. And then of course, and then they had the Inner Circle Ultimatum along with the interview. So the ultimatum was, it was fine. It was pretty long, but it was good. Pretty much, MJF, Chris Jericho just pretty much said, "Hey, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of everything of this fighting. We had MJF and Warlow was supposed to be a team. We're supposed to be great. It's like they brought a lot. He's like, Sammy hates MJF. Uh, Warlow and Hager hate each other. Uh, uh, Ortiz hates him. It's like Santana's just so mad at everybody. He doesn't even show up anymore. And MJF pretty much was just like, I know what it is. Hey, I feel like maybe I'm responsible. Hey, you think it's me? You think I'm the problem? It's like, you think what happened that I want to split people up? It's like, look, I wanted to join because I want to be part of a powerful group and stuff like that. He was pretty much saying that MJF was the one that tried to throw in the towel. Chris Jericho was like, dude, like we watched the show, we have video evidence. We saw that you tried to do it. Like, what are you talking about? And then MJF was like, no, silly, not me, not MJF. I wouldn't do that. Crazy, no. And then MJF was, and then he did just like, nah, I love you, Ortiz. What do you say? Essay, you my essay. That's like, you're so. I was like, MJF was retarded. He's so stupid. That was hilarious. He was like, Sammy, I love you. And then Sammy got all mad. He was like, no, F him. I don't like him. Forget him. He's the worst. I don't want to be friends with him. Blah, blah, blah. And then they started arguing. And Christian goes, just shut up. Everybody, shush. Shush. Get along or we're not going to be together. And then Ortiz was like, hey, uh, I kind of like them. They're all right. Santana's making me see the value in MJF and Wardlow. It's like, you guys are, your valuable assets. I hate both of you. You both get on my nerves. You're like a fungus, but you're growing on me. He was like, Warlow, hey, big guy, never change. MJF, yeah. Sammy, shake his hand. I was like, what? Shake the man's hand? Like, hey, look. We know it was Chris Jericho's decision. We know we don't like it, but hey, sometimes you have to do what you got to shake his hand. You're the better. Shake his hand. You're the better man. You're better than him, and you know it. And that got a good pop out of MJF and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was like, my man's. MJF was like, oh, okay. You could tell that MJF didn't see that coming because he really was like, because he knows he wanted to say that. He was like, all right, you got that one. And then, he went to shake his hand. Sam was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to shake his hand. But one more, I'm telling you, he looked at MJF, he's like, I'm telling you this. And then he got in Chris Jericho. So he's like, I'm telling you, one more thing happens, I quit. I'm out. Like, oh, I thought they were going to beat him up, but it's going to be stuff. And then Chris Jericho's like, yes, we're good. We're a unit out here. It was like, all right, we're good. And then JK was like, hold up. Why does he keep staring at me like this? Warlow was like, me? Like, you keep staring at me. You've been staring at me since I got in the business. He's like, no, you keep staring at me. No, you staring at me. I don't need to. And Chris Jericho was like, how about we just stop staring at each other? And then JK was like, yeah, of course. I can stop staring at him whenever I want. Warlow was like, yeah, me too. And they just look. That's hilarious. They're great. I love them. Their matches together is gonna be amazing. Yeah, this seemed more natural for both of them. It was like me, who you so so the more that I just talked about that whole thing, the more that I loved it. That was great. And then later on, Inner Circle's like they're together, they're a unit again. Hey, even Sammy Guevara agreed. He didn't quit, and so we're gonna be in their side. We're gonna be on their side by his side, and yeah, and then there was, of course, the Kenny Omega promo, which I enjoyed. I guess it was pretty much the same thing that they talked about the previous night on Dynamite. I didn't get to watch it because I had to work. I work. It sucks. But he pretty much. I don't know what this rib is going on with Kenny Omega in North Carolina, but it seems like every time he adds extra stuff to it, and then he always ends with like he went across country and he flew over North Carolina. I was like, what is him with North Carolina? But I I think it's hilarious. But the promo was pretty good. Don Callis is fantastic on a mic. Kenny Omega cleaner, full cleaner gimmick now. Fantastic. I think there was like a promise that Kenny Omega said that he was gonna like announcement thing that he promised but never happened. Um, but my assumption is they're here to collect belts. That's my assumption. He's gonna go to AEW or he's an AEW. He got the AEW title. He got the AAA title. Go to Impact. Maybe he collect the title there because Don Callis did say that they got nice titles there. They have nice belts. And then go to what's the face? Maybe NWA. They got a working relationship. Maybe take a title there. I don't know. Take Nick Aldis's title. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, no, it was good stuff. I enjoyed this promo. It was really really good. Probably the best promo of the night. Even though they probably said that it was the same thing from yesterday. Again, I didn't watch last night, so it was good stuff. Um, the the bit that the non good bits, as always, is the women's division. Unfortunately, again, pandemic happens, so all the women are not there. Uh, Jade and Nyla are being a red velvet. Um, Vicky Guerrero is holding her back while she's doing it, and then Serena Deeb and Big Swole come in there, help her, and then Diamante and Evilise come and they all brawl and stuff like that. So it seems like more attention's going into their NWA's women's title, and not the actual women's title. But it is what it is. They got two titles on there to make it, I guess, have their women's division better. I don't really, man, I don't know what's going on. But Abaddon versus Tessa Price. Tessa Price is 0-7, and Abaddon probably lost one match. So we kind of see how this is going, right? Abaddon murders Tesha, hits her with a widow's peak, and then she beats her up more. Hikaru Shida comes out. She has her little candlestick. This is a candlestick. I don't know what happened to it. I had a ruler, but I don't know where it is. I'm just using props today. She had a candlestick, and she was like, "Okay, I got this." So she goes in the ring. Abaddon comes. She's out. Boom! Takes a flat bump, and she tries to help her up. And then she Undertaker styles pulls up, and they were like, "Oh, iffy," and then they leave. Yep. So Abaddon's gonna be next. I don't know what's going on with Britt Baker. I don't know why Big Swole's not in that scene. I mean, I love Abaddon. I love her. I love me some Abaddon. But the fact that Britt Baker, unless she's injured again, is not in this is ridiculous. But I'm gonna I like Abaddon. She's great. She's gonna lose, but she's great. So yeah, their women's division, man. They need to fix that women's division, man. I don't maybe with the partnership of Impact, because Impact's women's division is really really good. Maybe with the help of them, they can, and NWA between NWA, Impact, and AEW, the division hopefully should be decent. And I wonder what happened also with my Pinkies Up girl. Y'all know Pinkies Up. Y'all know who that is. Uh, Allison Kay. I wonder what happened to her. And there was no Thunder Rosa. There's no Britt Baker. There's no Allison Kay. Like, what is going on? But before the main event, next week, Cody versus Angelico, Hangman in 3 and 4, Alex Silver and uh, uh, John Reynolds, John Silver, Alex Reynolds. That's what I was like. What? Facing Hardy Party, the Acclaimed are going to be SCU. Serena Deeb and Swole's going to face Evilise and Diamante. And then they announced Wednesday, the 23rd, is Holiday Bash. The 30th, the following week, is New Year's Smash Part 1. Jericho's going to be on commentary. And the following week, on the 6th, the same day as New Year's Evil, is going to be Snoop Dogg's going to be on commentary. And then they took off the Snoop Dogg Undertaker shirt on WWE Shop.com. Because, of course, they did. Because they are shady. So the main event, Orange Cassidy versus MJF for the Diamond Ring. I'm gonna be honest. I thought Orange Cassidy was gonna win. I really did. I thought that they were gonna implode tonight, and everything that they led up was gonna lead to MJF losing, and maybe kicking Sammy Guevara out of the inner circle, because Sammy Guevara is gonna be babyface. He's not gonna be in the inner circle, which is kind of hilarious because that's what Matt Hardy's been trying to tell Sammy Guevara the whole time. He went in the Lake of Reincarnation, and Sammy's is about to turn babyface. Matt Hardy didn't turn heel. That's hilarious. But yes, it was a good match. It was back and forth. A lot of hokey stuff that was going on there. A whole bunch of brawling. A lot of uh, uh, inner circle interference, and then all the tag team division came out to help Orange Cassidy. Somehow they all started brawling. Miro came out, Gucci sweatered up, Versace. Boom, meaty clothesline on him, uh, and then puts his hands in the pocket. MJF covers him for the 3. This match was good. MJF had probably the majority of this match. Orange Cassidy was trying to go for a lot of like super what, orange punches, not Superman punches, orange punches. Kept messing up. Got his hand hit on a steel cage on one, and he missed on one of them. Uh, he turned MJF turned one into like a sling German on the ropes. There was a spot where they tried to distract with the baseball bat. Orange Cassidy got on the rope. They handed him the bat. The bat, he did the thing where he sent the bat Eddie Guerrero saw, and he tried to toss the bat to um to Orange Cassidy, where Orange Cassidy's hands was in the pocket. He did a flat bump. He did it. Ref was distracted, and they turned around like he got back. He was like, "What are you doing?" He picked the bat up, and then he did a flat bump, and then of course he turned around. He was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he tosses the bat. Beach break for a two, orange punch for a two, and then the orange punch for like he put his foot on the ropes, and that's where the broke came out and stuff like that. And then best friends came out, or best friends was there. Best friends they started brawling with Kip and them, and then Miro started murdering all the security. He put one foot on one security's neck. It was great, and he ended up. 2 weeks. Miro has been looking strong. This feud is getting better with the this tag team feud is getting better. They just took out the whole um, video game thing. Like it's not about video games anymore. Now it's just like we hate you and we're gonna beat you up. And that's the kind of Miro me like. I like that type of Miro. So yeah, that was the show overall. Decent show. There was some bits that of course, were decent. The tag match with FTR and them, the Blondes were good. This main event was good. The 6-man tag that match was pretty fun. The Young Bucks match was good, but there's too much high flying stuff for me. The women's match was non-existent. It was just like more of angles than anything. They really need to fix that division. The Dustin match was really short. There's a lot of segments in here. The segments were good, but there are a lot of them. One thing about AEW is like they fit a lot of stuff in there. They have so many things that goes on in it, and doesn't it doesn't feel like a long show though. But they have everything's always going on. They always have something always going on. And I think that's the same thing with NXT. I think that's why people like it. I think if Raw, even though it's 3 hours, I think if they always had something going on, maybe the show will run more smoothly. But it always doesn't. It always feels like it doesn't feel fast paced. I think that's because they do a lot of rest holds. So I think if they did a lot of wrestling and fast paced stuff, like it catch their attention and stuff like that, but it's not my business. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. See.